former senior advisor to George W. Bush. We are so grateful that Karl Rove joins me now. Nice to have you, Karl. Okay, so the launch pad for all this is that temporary travel halt. You know, but here's the thing, Karl. The foundation for that halt, it's a 2002 law. It passed way back in 2002. 80 sitting Democrats voted for it. And now Obama signed, well, actually in 2015, Obama signed a law. Democrats like Chuck Schumer supported back in 2015 to stop travel from these 7 terror hotspots. So how does this square with the Senate Democrats boycotting votes right now?
Well, look, we've got two different things going on here. We have the Senate Democrats boycotting votes on the cabinet because they want to slow up. They know they can't win ultimately. They're going to have to approve these people, but they're trying to slow up and in the meantime toss mud on every one of them they possibly can. But their real object here is slow up the Senate so the Senate doesn't have time to take up other measures. You know, every day that they devote to fighting over the Secretary of the Treasury is one day less that Republicans can use to push legislation that's going to cut taxes, reduce regulation, create jobs in America. So we got that going on. And then we have the immigration issue, which the Democrats have seized upon. I think it was the rollout was mishandled, and they've seized upon that. But you're right. The president has the authority to do this. He talked about it in the campaign. On August 15, he said, when I'm elected, I'm going to have an extreme vetting of people from dangerous parts of the world. That's exactly what he's doing. And the Democrats are now acting as if they never expected him to follow through, and if he doesn't have the authority to do this. But he does. And they voted for that authority, as you pointed out, on at least a couple of occasions.
Yeah, 15 years ago in 2015, you know, Carter stopped refugees coming in from Iran. President Obama stopped it temporarily for 6 months, as longer than Trump is asking for. And you know what, the end game, it looks like you can see the media headlines coming, Karl, that Trump didn't get economic growth coming. But behind the scenes, all the slowdown is happening, right?
Well, look, this is one thing that I think is problematic. If the number one issue in the election was the economy, and that needs to be the focus of the administration. And he got some good notes in at the beginning of last week when the Keystone Pipeline, the Dakota Pipeline, regulatory relief, government hiring freeze. But we've had we've been talking about the size of the inaugural crowd. We've been talking about a lot of other things that are extraneous. We had the wall EO last week. We've had two other EOs on immigration. I wish in a way he had slowed this up, spaced it out, and made certain that the first week or week and a half or two, it was nothing but the economy. So people walked away and said, you know what, number one issue for him is jobs, and he's got plenty of time to do these other things. Right,
that's a good point. As Reagan did, you know, right out of the box in the early 80s, he did tax reform. Sell tax cuts like a jobs bill. Do that, and then Obamacare and all the other stuff later. But we want to get to this story. More on President Trump firing the acting Attorney General after the Justice Department staff were told not to defend the refugee order. New York Senator Chuck Schumer, a Democrat, responding.
If this continues, this country has big trouble. We cannot have a Twitter presidency.
Sally Yates was a profile in courage. Profile in courage. Maybe some of her courage, her insight, her wisdom would rub off on the people in the White House.
Trump's team defending the decision to fire Yates.
We found out that an Obama appointee who was confirmed in 2015 was refusing to enforce the president's immigration order, defend the president's immigration order, and thus refusing to defend the Constitution and refusing to defend the country. It was a betrayal of her office, and she's being replaced with somebody who will enforce the laws of the United States.
You know, the announcement, the words are being attacked, right, Karl, that, you know, Donald Trump or the Trump administration shouldn't be saying, oh, she betrayed the American people, or was weak on immigration. It felt like personal attacks. But, you know, you made the point earlier that he's within his rights here, right, to fire the acting Attorney General. What are your thoughts?
Look, I would be careful about words like betrayal, but let's look at this. I don't want to sound intemperate, but she's a hot dog. She's the acting Attorney General of the United States. The White House submits to what's called the Office of Legal Counsel at the Department of Justice the draft executive memoranda. This is an office that has one political appointee in charge of it. That person is not there. The Obama person's not there. The Trump person has not yet been put in charge. So it's entirely career people. They looked at the executive order and sent it back to the White House. confirming that it was accurate and legitimate with regard to form and substance. Now, if she thought that this was somehow an inappropriate order, she should have been having a discussion with her own career people at the Office of Legal Counsel, but they sent it back to the White House saying this is within your authority and that both the form and the substance are accurate. So I take it, and look, she didn't want to enforce it, that's fine. She should have quietly resigned and let the job go to somebody else. But to do what she did last night does harm to the Justice Department's reputation and the Justice Department's standing. This was a constitutional order. You can disagree with it all you like, but for her to say to the Justice Department, we're not going to defend what their own Office of Legal Counsel had advised the president was accurate with regard to form and substance is just reprehensible in my mind. So Senator Schumer can go out there and try and spin it any way he likes, but this was fundamentally wrong. She did not live up to the oath that she took when she became the acting Attorney General or when she was confirmed by the United States Senate to defend and uphold the Constitution of the United States. Shame on her.
Well, thank you, Karl Rove. We'd love having you on the show. Please come back soon, okay?